Starting. Hello, VOD watchers, and welcome to the recorded stream. We're gonna go ahead and get into what happened last time. We were about halfway through the second volume of Dot Hack: Another Birth, Volume 2, Mutation. They had just beaten another one of what they think are parts of this mysterious wave, quote-unquote. And every time they seem to beat one of these giant monsters, something bad happens to the game. And this time, an entire server was shut down. And just before their encounter with the second giant monster, part of the wave, they were enlisted via the help of one of the company administrators who actually work on the game itself, but he's a pig-headed douchebag. Just having them do errands, and then whenever they kill a giant monster that was threatening the world, the name of the game, he's like, fuck you. So, Black Rose, aka Akira, which is the lady on screen, she's sitting in her room and contemplating some stuff, and I'm gonna go ahead and crack open my Red Bull real quick. There we go. Dragon fruit, very floral. Okay. Well, this music's just not right. Hold on. I need to go over here. Come on. Oh, bullshit. There we go. Okay. So, and as a reminder, this game is set in the first person from Akira's perspective. Damn it, that's louder. I always get that volume mixed up of how loud it actually is. There we go. Turn on just a wee bit. There we go. All right. So yeah, this book is told from Akira, aka Black Rose's perspective, in the first person. The days were growing shorter. Soon it would be winter. Fumikazu loved winter. Staring out my bedroom window, I couldn't believe the Lambda server had been shut down. That was the server that they accidentally shut down after beating one of the bosses whose name I cannot remember. I decided to send an email to Kite, the actual main character of the games. Quote, "The time has come. As Helba would say, Leos is pig-headed. Leos is the server admin, and Helba is a hacker that's been helping them out. That's been helping Black Rose and Kite out. I can't listen to his orders anymore. I decided we should move on our own. Cool?" End quote. I went downstairs to grab a quick snack. I couldn't stop thinking about our latest adventure. I couldn't believe Leos. I wondered how long the Lambda server would be out of commission. I decided to check in on it. Nope, to check on it. Excuse me. Carmina Gadelica was wrapped in silence. That would be... Oh, wait, hold on. Innis. Innis was the second boss they'd fought. And the first one was Skaith. Why is he there twice? That's weird. Oh... Had an itch. Okay. Carmina Gadelica was wrapped in silence. However, it wasn't empty. The stores were open and manned by NPCs. The streets were full of dozens of PCs, but none of them were moving. I walked up and tried talking to several. Whenever I did, all they said was, "We oppose support overtime." Or, Opus has rickets. Or even the garbled repetition of Grilnik, Grilnik. This is messed up, I muttered to myself. The NPCs and their shops were operating normally, but why weren't the PCs acting? Or no, why weren't the PCs walking around? Could they be could they be NPCs? Or was the server still malfunctioning? I'd imagine it's still malfunctioning. Where are we? Okay. It felt like the PC avatars were set about as decoration to make the town look normal. It was anything but normal. I suddenly felt creeped out. I turned back toward the Chaos Gate and promptly ran into Kite. Huh? Black Rose, he exclaimed. Kite, why are you here? I asked. Why didn't you answer my email? Kite paused. He seemed hesitant. I got an email from someone else. I think it's from Aura. Aura? Aura being... Oh, wait. Aura being this mysterious white-haired girl in a white gown that is speculated to be an AI. Not the dumb AI of modern day. This series came out in the early 2000s. Aura was data drained and dispersed by Skaith, but that didn't mean she was dead or non-existent. However, I didn't know that she could still send messages. Well, it was unintelligible, so I can't be sure, Kite continued. He described the message as best he could, or at least his interpretation of the message. It seemed that Aura wanted us to bring the segment, the item Kite received when Innis was data drained, to a certain place. There's just one thing that bothers me, Kite added. What's that? At the end of the message, it warned, beware of Kubia. Kubia? I repeated. Is Kubia that thing that imprisoned her? Is that why the message arrived scrambled, she thought to herself. After Skaith and Innis, isn't Magus supposed to be next? I asked. Wasn't that the next name on the pedestal? That's what I thought too, but it definitely said Kubia in the message. So they found a slab in one of the worlds that they visited, because as a reminder, in the world in MMO, that little circle thing down there in the picture is called a gate. And when you open it, you're given a list of words in 3 columns. And you pick a word for each column, and that combination of word will either generate or take you to an area or world that usually has a dungeon in it, monsters, and all kinds of stuff. But there's one titled Hidden and Forbidden Holy Ground that takes you to a mysterious church with no enemies. And inside the church is a statue of what we now know to be Aura. And on the placard, it says something along the lines of comes the wave, Skaith, Innis, Magus, and it lists off various entities, and thus far they have beaten 2 of the listed names on that slab, and so they were under the assumption that Magus was next. Also, right after they beat Innis, this giant blue creature composed of what looks like blue dead tree branches and a skeleton-esque face appears before them, shrieks, and then that's when the Lambda server got hit with bullshit. Where are we? Oh. So what's Kubia? Kite shrugged. I wasn't really expecting him to answer. Anyway, is that where you're going? Yeah, I'm going too, I interrupted. Kite looked troubled. What is it? I asked. Well, Mistral and I... Mistral's here too? Kite smiled. She's already waiting at the Chaos Gate. Is that okay? Of course! Mistral's another player, and she is a ball of fucking sunshine, and I love her very much. Oh, that's so good. I'm gonna go ahead and pop up Mistral while I'm here. Excuse me. There she is. Da baby. I love her. She is precious. Either way. Oh yeah, Kite was just to form a party. You form a party of 3 in the game. I scrolled through the log and I accepted. As we headed for the gate, I realized Kite still hadn't replied to my message about Leos. If I'm going to ask him, this is the time. Hey, I began. Huh? Kite turned around. I looked at him for a moment, but I sensed his eagerness to continue with our mission. Never mind. Fucking hate it whenever shit like that happens. Like it's like, especially if you're used to, or if you've learned how to pick up on people's emotional states. And it's really frustrating in media whenever someone's like, hey, person, insert character's name. They're like, yeah, what's up? And then, like, there's a pause, and the person who asked is like, never mind. And the person who got asked just acts like nothing fucking happened. Like, do you not have emotional intelligence enough to see that person clearly wants to talk to you about something, but they're afraid to? Like, for fuck's sake, man. That's bad character writing. Alright, next page. It wasn't important. Besides, I had the sense that Kite wasn't being blindly obedient to Leos. He had his own obligation to fulfill, and nothing, not even Leos, would dissuade his course of action. That was my only real concern. After all, we were both here acting on our own despite Leo shouting at us and ordering us to listen to him. Like I'm going to listen to his words, she thought to herself. I smiled. Simply having Kite around encouraged me. Mistral waved from in front of the Chaos Gate. Wow, Black Rose is here too! Yay! God bless her, she said. No, that was out of character. Hey, don't you think there are lots of weirdos today? Mistral was always acting silly. God bless you, she is. I wondered if she was like that in real life. With surprising ease, we warped to the coordinates Aura had indicated. Alpha, I think. No, Delta Merciless Grieving Furnace. I think that's the Delta. No, the Delta symbol is the full triangle. I always forget the fucking symbol. I always forget what the fucking symbols mean. It's either the Latin or the Roman alphabet. I always forget which one. Nope. Great. Or I can't remember. No. Greek alphabet. I'm just gonna have that pulled up just in case. No, why the fuck did you take me to Amazon, you ass? Oh, it's because I accidentally tapped the fucking thing. Alright, where are we? Lambda! There it is! Fucking Lambda. Okay. Lambda Merciless Grieving Furnace. That's what I mean by the 3 keywords. It was not a protected area. The entire surface was deep red, and I had the sense that I was standing on magma. Just like the other diseased areas, the screen would occasionally invert, and the character strings of unknown meaning crawled through the air, or peeked through the ground. Cannot wait to actually show that on stream. It looks so fucking cool. The infection was no longer contained to protected areas. Could this be the result of our battle with Innis? Were even open areas now becoming broken? Kite pressed onward. I shifted my gaze to the horizon. The sky and the mountains were shaking. I couldn't tell if it was an effect of an error, or if I couldn't tell if it was an effect or an error. We reached the dungeon and entered. Goody, let's go! Mistral's thrilled voice didn't fit the somber mood. The inside of the dungeon was dark. It resembled a stone castle. Our only light source was the soft glow from the character strings peeking through the walls, floor, and ceilings. When we reached a lower level, Mistral blurted out, "You've really gotten strong, Kite. Are you trying to be the strongest or something?" Kite didn't respond, so she continued. "I'm gaga over collecting items. I'm going for a complete set, you know?" Gaga? What is this lady? Okay. I wonder how old Mistral was. Yeah, she really does act like a child. I didn't think Kite had filled her in on the reality of our situation. Why else would she still be taking all this so casually? We really should tell her about the danger we're in. If we don't, it will be like using her the way Leos is using us, Black Rose thought to herself. Still, I was glad to have her around. She helped lighten the mood. Kite must have picked up on my feelings, because he suddenly spoke nervously. You know, I've been thinking of saying this for a while. He looked back at me for just a second, then turned to Mistral and told her his reasons for what we were doing. He explained about his friend's coma and though he didn't go into all the details that he'd given me, at least she now knew what she was in for. Yeah. Oh, so that's the basis for your role-playing, Mistral concluded. Oh, God. What? I thought. This isn't some background story for a game, it's what happened. But maybe it was too hard to believe. I'm not sure I would believe such a story if it hadn't happened to Fumikazu, her brother. But Mistral had seen Skaith. It certainly added credence to Kite's version of events. Good luck, Mistral said cheerfully. Shall we move on? Kite and I were astonished. You know what? Even if all this weren't real, Mistral's a fucking real one for just accepting with the story you give her, and she's like, alright, whatever, man, let's keep going. Oh, bless her. Yeah, let's go. Kite shook his head and continued. I trailed after them. Kite suddenly stopped when a crimson sphere appeared before him. It fluttered through the air near his chest. That's the sphere that scattered when Skaith data drained Aura. Is this crimson sphere the segment of her? The segment hovered as Aura appeared in the tunnel. It was as if she'd been waiting for it. Let me grab Aura. There she is. Adorable. Classic early 2000s anime style. It's one of those cloaks that doesn't really have sleeves, so it just looks like she has no arms or legs. Whoa, that story you told me was true, wasn't it? Mistral murmured. Yes, Kite quietly replied. She couldn't take her eyes off Aura. She's beautiful, but I don't think she's alive. Aura's eyes were closed as she floated with the segment. Her white dress gave her an angelic appearance. If the segment returns to her, will she wake up and answer our questions? I noticed Kite's bracelet was glowing. Kite raised his arm in the segment, and Aura responded to it. Kite tried to approach Aura with the bracelet extended. Suddenly, we were deafened by an intense, ear-piercing screech. The ground rumbled. Oh boy. Aura slowly ascended with the segment into the air until they both disappeared as if absorbed by the darkness. Wait, I called. Whoa, whoa, hey, what is this? Mistral sounded hysterical. The tremors ceased, the ground at our feet flickered, and a magic portal appeared. We warped? I looked at the magic portal. Something was inside that resembled the light from Kite's bracelet. It almost seemed as if it were aimed at us. That's... Kite trailed off. It was the huge thing that was born when Skaith fell. It slowly rose above us, overlooking the magic portal. That's a spelling mistake. It was Mammoth. ITS. It was Mammoth. Spell checker. I think the editor made a bit of an oopsie. Hang on, I gotta close out Mistral and then pull up what they're facing off against, which is Kubia. That's it. The rest of its body is like a series of blue tree limbs with no leaves. This thing's really fucking weird looking, and I love it. Alright. It was Mammoth. Its split maw looked like it could swallow us whole. Its razor-sharp teeth were as long as my sword. It's a bit of an exaggeration. How can we possibly defeat this thing? She had the head pushed up, leveling our field of vision, but revealing what looked like complicated clusters of roots underneath. That's it. They looked like tree roots, not tree limbs. Excuse me. They looked like tree roots. Is this? Kite's murmur reached my ears. Kubia? I finished his sentence. Mistral cast something magic on me and Kite, and I readied my sword. I love that taste. Okay. Oh, Mistral casts strengthening magic. Deep inside the trunk, what seemed to be Kubia's heart pulsed. 4 blue orbs surrounded it, entwined in the root system. When I targeted them, the name Gomorrah appeared. The larger central one was named Kubia Core. I decided to devote myself to taking out the Kubia Core, but the second I readied my sword, Kite attacked. Its HP didn't decrease. It has physical tolerance. It's invulnerable to physical attacks. Kite shouted. Say what? I didn't have any magical attacks. All I could use was a recovery spell called Repth. Yeah, in this game, instead of like Cure Fire and whatnot, or Cure, Fire, all the spells have weird names, but the weird names are like kind of silly. Repth is the healing, and Olrepth is to heal the entire party. Larepth is the higher level of Repth, and then Olarepth is the higher level full party healing. It's, like I said, it's weird sounding. There's one called Gigan, and then Gigandan, Vacruz. I'm not sure what language it comes from, but it's really cool sounding. Either way, where are we? Okay, I wished I'd brought along a scroll, but it was too late. Leave it to me! Mistral shouted gleefully. Maybe I don't need to worry with Mistral here, she thought to herself. Black Rose, over here! Kite yelled. I headed for the Gomorrahs. At least they took damage from the physical attacks. I kicked them around, while Kite reinforced Mistral's skill points with recovery items. Ooh. Burpee. Just as we defeated the 4 Gomorrahs, Mistral shouted, "It switched to magical tolerance! I'm coming!" With my sword poised, I attacked the Kubia Core. Mistral fell back and devoted herself to recovery. Suddenly, the ground trembled. Kubia's root-like tentacles projected from outside the magic portal and attacked. I used my sword as a shield. The tentacles struck once, then disappeared beneath the magic portal. But once was enough. Our HP dropped dangerously low. Olrepth! Mistral healed the entire party. It wasn't enough for full recovery, but we were much stronger. Kite and I slashed away at the Kubia Core, but our attacks weren't working. Back to physical tolerance, I shouted. Look out, they're back! Kite cried. The Gomorrahs I thought we had defeated had returned, restored to full health. Yeah, this boss is fairly tedious, but like if you get the rhythm down, it's not hard per se. It's just a bit, like I say, it's just tedious, but I don't mind it. I'll take you out as many times as I have to, I shouted. I slashed away, but just as their HP nearly bottomed out, Kubia Core chanted and restored both its own and Gomorrah's HP. How many times has it revived them? Deal with this. Flame Dance! Kite's blades turned to flame and he viciously slashed at the Kubia Core, finally dropping its HP to 0. Kubia choked out a death rattle as it belched black smoke and sank into the darkness. It left behind a skeleton. We did it, Mistral smiled. But the moment we let down our guard, light returned to Kubia's eyes. It soared into the air, an intense roar bellowed. The sky inverted, swallowing up Kubia. It ran away! I didn't take my eyes away from the spot where it had disappeared. I was afraid it might return. I'm impressed you managed to repel Kubia. I turned, surprised to see Helba. This is Helba. In the games, anyway. In the light novel, she looked like this, which is essentially the same thing. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. Anyway. How long had she been there? Miss Helba, I told. Nope, I could tell Kite chose his words carefully. You can drop the miss routine. Right now, we must liberate Aura. Will that help save Orca? It's a question of probability. For now, that is all I can say. Helba warped out. If we liberate Aura, will Fumikazu be saved? She thought to herself. Even if there was only a possibility, we had to pursue it. Was she headed back? Nope. As we headed back, I noticed Mistral was unusually silent. Mistral, are you okay? She nodded. Once we returned to Carmina Gadelica, Mistral pulled Kite aside. I'm sorry I made fun of you. You know me, that's just how I am. I stepped further back. I didn't want to invade their privacy, but it was nice that she could apologize so openly. So far, I hadn't told anyone about Fumikazu. I wish I could be open. I know you're trying hard, so I won't say good luck, but call me when you need me. No need to hold back. If there's anything I can do, I'll do it, Mistral offered. The blessed baby. We love her. I never thought Mistral would become someone we could rely on. Well, I'm going shopping, Mistral said and warped out. Oh, goodness. I love her. Shopping at this hour? I became more curious about her real life. Maybe she was just a student heading to a local convenience store. Or maybe she was going to shop online? Who could tell? Kite let out a big sigh. He turned to me and smiled. I decided it was time to tell him the truth about my brother. But just as I was about to speak, I heard something outside of the game. I lifted the goggles. Downstairs, I could hear clattering and Kota crying. I had to get down there immediately. Sorry, I gotta go, I said, and quickly logged out. Time passes. I heard my mom walking upstairs. I quickly double-clicked my homework file. Mom opened the door without knocking. I could see her looking over my shoulder to see what I was working on. Sorry to interrupt your homework. Nice save, girl. It's okay. I turned toward her. What's up? Hana's gotten loose. Could you help find her? Hana? Did I forget to shut the cage yesterday? She thought to herself. I shot up out of my chair. Cole left the bedroom door open and she got away. You know how fast she is. Cole wasn't able to catch her. K-O-U, by the way. Cole. Mom's hand rubbed her temple. She was having a bad day. I rolled up my sleeves. If I can't catch her, who can? I laughed. Unnecessary laugh. Thanks. She couldn't have gotten outside, so she must be around here somewhere. Can you look in the bedrooms? Roger, I answered with a salute. And be serious. Mom headed downstairs to search the kitchen again. I decided to start by checking all of her favorite hiding places. Dad's study, my parents' bedroom, Fumikazu's room, the bathroom. Not a trace, excuse me. Then I went from room to room, still nothing. Finally, I heard Kota calling from downstairs. Found her! I ran down the steps. Where? Kota held his finger over his mouth so Mom and I would be quiet. Then he whispered, over there. Hana was sitting on the entryway mat. As soon as I saw her, my heart tightened. I realized she was waiting for Fumikazu to come home. So Hana is Fumikazu's pet prairie dog. And she seems to be a very emotionally intelligent animal because she can tell that something's wrong because Fumikazu hasn't come back for a while. And this is so fucking sad. So fucking sad, bro. It seemed cruel to catch her and put her back in her cage. Akira, Mom softly said. Hurry. Kota stamped his feet. Quietly, Cole. Mom soothed, but Hana didn't flinch. I slowly approached, Hana ready to grab her. As I neared, Hana stood upright. Outside, we could hear keys jingling. It was Dad. Oh, God. I'm home, Dad called as he pushed the open door. Hana bolted in the opposite direction, weaving expertly between our feet. She disappeared down the hall. What the? Dad cried. Once we told him what happened, he announced, "That's easy, I'll catch her." Dad set down his briefcase and headed toward the kitchen. I bet she's hungry. She probably went to the kitchen. Mom and Dad searched the first floor while Kota and I returned to the second. Yeah, I better. There we go. That's actually Hana right there. An adorable baby. I sent Kota to my parents' room so he'd be out of the way. Then I headed back toward Fumikazu's room. I turned the light on. The room felt cold. I looked under the desk in the closet. She wasn't there. Maybe she was downstairs after all. I started to leave the room when I heard something under the bed. I dropped down and peeked under it. Hana was curled up in a piece of cloth, sleeping. Hana always snored when she slept. I grabbed the sides of the cloth she was nestled in and dragged it out, waking her gently. I picked her up and cuddled her in my arms. Hana nudged my cheek with her nose. Adorable. Then I realized what Hana was sleeping in. It was Fumikazu's favorite blanket. A tear traced down my cheek. It was the first of many. And there's this adorable sketch in the book of Akira just crying her eyes out, holding the blanket with Hana in her arms, but Hana's just looking straight up at her with the blankest of eyes. It's so silly. He's just like, oh? And just like, what you doing? Just complete curiosity without an ounce of sadness. It's so funny. Anyway, time passes. After we repelled Kubiya, Carmina Gadelica returned to its former liveliness. It seemed to have been fully restored. Hey, there you go. Itchy finger. Oh, there we go. Miss Black Rose, Natsume called. I was just about to go. Natsume is, I think, a twin blade. Hold on, this is why I have the... Really? This is why I have the Wikipedia pulled up. Just in case. Yeah, there she is. Natsume. She's a twin blade that Kite met. And then she became friends with Akira, aka Black Rose. God damn it. Here we are. You really going? I asked. By the time I return, I will be 10 times my level. Natsume sent me an email telling me about a new post on the BBS, the universal, chat board thing. I didn't trust it. The post claimed that if you defeated a monster called Level 10 Vine in the lowest level of the dungeon located at Lambda Bottomless Hopeless Footstep, your level would increase by 10-fold. Everything about the post sounded bogus. It's too good to be true. Forget about it. I didn't want to see her disappointed. Natsume looked at me in surprise. What if you're wrong? I have to find out if it's true. Okay, good luck. I waved as Natsume warped through the Chaos Gate. I decided to do some research. I chose the keywords from the Chaos Gate generator. Lambda, Bottomless Hopeless Footstep, was a level 36 area. I didn't know Natsume's current level, but I knew it wasn't high enough. Even I would have trouble in that field alone. I started to worry. What should I do? She thought to herself. I closed the menu and saw Kite walking past. Such good fortune, she thought to herself. You, come with me, I ordered. Sure, but I wanted to check something out on my own first. No time, I said, and then briefly told him about the email from Natsume. You too? That's where I was just heading. Kite smiled. Natsume had sent him the same email, and he wanted to check on the validity of the post as well. I warped to Lambda Bottomless Hopeless Footstep. We warped there and headed straight for the dungeon. As we walked under the full moon, I commented, "How long has it been since you and I went to an ordinary area?" Kite just laughed. Nothing we did was ever ordinary, of course. The dungeon was unexpectedly large. We pressed forward as fast as we could until we arrived on the second level. There, we found Natsume. She was outnumbered, surrounded by hideous-looking mushroom monsters. "We have to help her," I cried. We unleashed an attack, quickly dropping the mushroom monsters under our onslaught. Oh, another adorable little sketch of Kite checking on Natsume. Book Natsume is very adorable. Looks about the same. It was just drawn in a different art style. It didn't take too long, thank goodness. When it was over, Natsume sheepishly approached. With her head bowed, she said, "I looked in every corner of the dungeon, but the level 10 vine monster is nowhere to be found." Of course not, Black Rose thought to herself. "I think that pose was probably a joke," Kite offered, trying to sound gentle. "Yeah, you must be right," Natsume said. She looked a little chagrined. You ended up helping me out again." "Our pleasure," I nodded. She broke out into a huge smile. Tee-hee-hee. I never know how the fuck I'm supposed to read tee-hee-hee. "Let's all laugh at an industry that never learns anything, tee-hee-hee." Well, in time I'll get stronger. I'll do my best and not fall for these stupid posts anymore. There are no quick fixes, right? After all, the harder you work, the bigger the reward, right? Not always, but you know, it's nice to have something to hold on to. Where are you? Oh yeah. With that, Natsume warped out. She must have felt embarrassed for believing the post. Kite and I looked at each other. There was no point in staying, so we headed back as well. I wondered what kind of person would leave such a ridiculous post in the first place, but realized there were all kinds of people on the net, aka the internet. Just as there were in real life. If you didn't want to be fooled, you had to learn to be a good judge of character. I had learned so much since I'd entered the world. No matter what, I was grateful that I'd played the game. End of chapter. Next chapter, the chapters don't have numbers, but the next one is called Fellow. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna take a drink. Good shit. Excuse me. Tried to do it away from the mic. Okay. Let me adjust my Gengar plush. They're always my streaming buddy. Sitting in my lap. There we go. I also need to check and see if I had got any sub teaching jobs, because they always choose to contact me right about now when I'm in the middle of streaming. Okay. Fellow. After defeating Kubia, Aura was still nowhere to be found, and we had no clue what to do next. What would Fumikazu do if he were me? She thought to herself. He was more gifted at solving puzzles than I was. We had defeated Skaith and Innis. That left Magus. When will it show? The pedestal of the statue was defaced, so we couldn't read beyond Magus. Will there be others? I had no doubt there would be. Then there was Kubia. Why did it run from us? That meant we'd have to fight it again. If Aura's segment was a part or fragment of her, then maybe the 3 red lights Skaith had scattered were the essence of Aura herself. That meant there were 2 more segments. If we gather those, will Aura return? She thought. Oh, where can those other 2 segments be hidden? She thought to herself. I wasn't counting on information from the system side anymore. Leos proved to be too difficult. My primary source of information would be the BBS. At least it's not the BBC. Okay. I could also talk to Asaoka, Yuji, and others from school. Unfortunately, the BBS had been suspended since the defeat of Ines. Also, I couldn't just blatantly talk to Asaoka or Yuji, since they didn't even know I played online, nor did I want to let them know. What can I do? She thought to herself. It was getting cold out. Racked by worries, I visited my brother in the hospital. I told him everything I'd been through these past few days, hoping for some sort of inspiration, but none ever came. Once I'd arrived, I made some hot cocoa and hurried upstairs to my computer. I prayed that the BBS had been reinstated. I was really relieved to see that it was finally back online. Confusion over the downed server had increased the number of posts. My eyes ran over the new responses. I found rumor... Wait, what? My eyes ran over the new responses, period. There it is. I found a rumor about the quote-unquote coma game. I wondered what would happen if I posted everything I knew. Maybe then others would avoid irregular monsters. I could warn the world. The game itself. No, nobody would believe me, she thought to herself. Not only that, but once Leos learned of the post's existence, he would almost certainly delete it. There was a new response on the Epitaph of Twilight thread. I clicked it and found a piece written about the world being ruined by the abominable wave. Unless someone could find the Twilight Dragon, the destined savior of the world. The Twilight Dragon? Linda used that expression, right? She said, "May the Twilight Dragon's divine protection be with you." I don't remember who Linda is. She may have been like a one-off character. I don't remember. If Linda knew of the Twilight Dragon, then she also probably knew about the Epitaph of Twilight as well. But where did she learn about it? Oh, yeah, that's right. Linda was she made like a post on the BBS, and then Black Rose like talked to her about it, and then but by the time she got to her, the administration had like silenced her, so she's like, I can't talk about it. It's like the CIA trying to cover everything up. 100% a joke. Any net searches I made didn't reveal any hits. I kind of wish we replaced the word Googling something for net searching. Oh, what a much cooler way to say that. Net search. I'm gonna search the net. That's so fucking funny. I really wish those colloquialisms and phrases stuck around instead of being replaced by brand names. But, I mean, hey. The same thing has been... that exact thing has been... There's a word for it, but I don't remember what it is. But that exact thing has been happening for centuries. Or ever since brands really became a thing. Like, Band-Aids aren't actually called Band-Aids. Kleenexes aren't called Kleenexes, etc., etc. The word itself has been replaced with the brand name. Oh well. Anyway, where are we? If we gather those, will all return? Where can those other two segments be hidden? Oh no, I already read that. My bad. Any net searches I made didn't reveal any hits. It was also the first time I'd heard the words abominable wave. Before Ines appeared, I saw waves rippling across the display. Are those the waves? I decided to write to the author of the thread. I wanted to know their score. The author's name was simply 01. Or 0I if you're just using it as a regular letter instead of a Roman numeral. Afterward, I sent an email to Kite, telling him the BBS was reinstated and pointing out 01's post. The problem with using email was waiting for an answer. Even if I hadn't alerted Kite, I know he'd check the BBS anyway. But I wanted to email him. I wanted the connection to him, perhaps. I decided to wait for him in the world. Time passes. Hold on. Anyway, as soon as I arrived, Chimney started manically manically circling around me. Chimney is one of the first two people that Black Rose met whenever she first joined the world. Oh, this is the server you've been on? Chimney cried gleefully. Oh, you've gone up a few levels. I couldn't help wondering about his abundant energy. He reminded me of a little kid. It's been a long time, I said. Oh no, that was her. It's been a long time, I said. I hadn't seen Chimney nor Nova since Skaith was defeated. I guess I kind of missed them. Where's Nova? Shopping. Preparing to adventure. We actually just got back. Then why are you shopping? The SP of 2 Blade Masters doesn't cut it for recovery, so we need more healing potions and whatnot. Were you nearly killed? We ran away. Is that possible? I asked. It wasn't a dungeon, so we weren't hemmed in. We were in a field, so we were able to shake them off, Chimney continued. So you can avoid monsters in fields. Yep, it's lame, but if you call it a tactical retreat, it makes it cooler. He's absolutely a fucking middle schooler. Chimney looked away. Oh, here he comes. Well, if it isn't Black Rose, Nova waved. Is this the server you've been on? That's what Chimney just said. Hey, you've gone up a few levels. I said that too. Chimney pouted exaggeratedly. Then did he ask you? Ask what? I pressed, curious. Want to level up with us? Really? I smiled. If you have nothing planned, why not? I had intended to wait for Kite. I wanted to talk to him about my email to 01. Nova seemed to catch on to my ambivalence. Ah, you're probably too busy. What do you mean? Chimney jumped in. I felt certain Nova suspected something. They had seen Mia, an irregular PC, approach me. I almost felt like telling them what was happening. Did I say something wrong? Nova asked Chimney. You did. You sound like some old lady. Well, you know I'm not. I'm just short of being a middle-aged man, he joked. That's okay, Chimney said. We're just jealous since you're always surrounded by such colorful characters. We don't have that many chances to play together, Nova added. Yeah, Nova's a pretty lonely guy, Chimney teased. Cut it out, Nova snapped, then returning back to me, he said, when you do have time, we should adventure together, okay? And there's a sketch, and it's Nova, who is taller than Chimney, and Chimney is just like elbowing him like, The face on Chimney is so funny. Alright. What? Oh, when you have time, we should adventure together. Got it. Sure, I answered cheerfully. We should get going. Chimney hurried Nova along. Oh, Chimney hurried Nova along. I waved as they warped out. You two have... Wait. You have new mail flashed in the upper right corner of my display. That was fast, I thought. Almost too fast. I was about to log out so I could read it when Kite warped in. I couldn't just disappear without at least saying something. Did you see the thread on the epitaph? I tried emailing 01 directly. I'm waiting for a reply. I wonder if you'll get one. I think I already have. I smiled at Kite. Sorry, I just got something and I want to see what it is. I'll talk to you later, okay? Remember, I don't know if it was ever a thing, but you had to log out of a game to be able to check your email. It's so funny. I logged out and checked my inbox. The message read, oh god. It's a message from Mistral, and the way she's talking gives off early 2000s weeb vibes, and it's throwing me down memory lane, or down the memory stairs, and it's so fucking funny. Damn it, I I fucking choked on my own saliva. Anyway, Nya! The other day, rock. This is Mistral, and she used she made a fucking emoticon using those two miniature X's, or one miniature X on either side of the face, the power of symbol, and then the line to make the face. It's so I love it. Thanks are a fun adventure every single time I run into you guys. So, you know I play with Kite because it's fun, but what about you, Black Rose? It doesn't seem like you're having much fun. Why are you with Kite? There, I asked it. Oh, and she did the fucking... She did this fucking number. I love that. I miss doing that. It's very fun. I froze. Should I reply? How should I answer? If I give her the slip, will Mistral dig even deeper, or will she let it slide? While I pondered this, another message from Mistral arrived. Ah, okay, maybe I should just say this. I guess I was worried about you. I know this is an online game and I'm just being nosy, but I had to know, so I sent that email. Mistral's tone had changed. It was more sisterly than when she was playing the game. While I wrestled with my response, yet another email from Mistral arrived. I suppose it's courteous to talk about oneself first, actually. I'm a housewife. I enjoy the game while avoiding housework. But from my point of view, you seem like you're carrying a heavy burden. Kite has a different vibe. Kite's more open, so I can just come out and ask him, but you're more closed. It's like you're trying too hard on your own, and you're about to be crushed. So hey, if you're willing to think of me as a big sister, I'll listen to anything you have to say. Mistral's a housewife. The big reveal. Oh god, I love it. Oh, it's so fucking funny. Housewife Mistral. Could you fucking that much energy from a fucking housewife? God bless her. God bless that energy she gives off. It's so fucking funny. For a second, I was stunned. Mistral's a housewife? Mistral? Clearly, she had picked up on my mood better than Kite ever had. But do I dare tell her? I started typing. Do I really seem like I'm at my limit? Is it really that obvious? I'm a high school freshman. Mistral replied with the suggestion that we meet. Oh, yes. Their meeting is so fucking cute. Time passes. I arrived in Dunloyreig. It was where I'd first met Mistral. Okay, so we're moving to Dunloyreig. I'm gonna... Oh wait, that's right. Mistral's on the wiki, so... Let's close out Helba. I didn't mean to... There we go. Closing out Helba. And then... Dunloyreig. There you are. Good old Dunloyreig. She came with her usual cheerfulness. Been waiting long? No. Hey, maybe we should form a party so we can talk privately. As I accepted her invitation, I wondered what she was doing online so late. Are you sure you're not too busy? I asked. I mean, what about your husband? Mistral laughed. My husband gets home late. Don't worry about it. She looked around and then suggested, we might be spotted by someone we know, so I'll take you somewhere else, someplace with a superb view. A view? Yep, this way. I followed her. We ended up behind the alchemist shop overlooking a valley. No one was around. Nice secret spot, huh? No, sit down. Mistral folded her legs and sat. I nervously sat next to her, wondering what she wanted to talk about. Anyway. Now tell me, what's wrong, troubled high school girl? She asked. I looked at the scenery spread out below me and kept silent. Now that it was time to talk, the words wouldn't come. Mistral filled the silence with her own thoughts. Even though I was surprised by Kite's story, I believed him. I'll believe whatever you want to tell, whatever you tell me too. Mistral is best lady. Love her. Everyone deserves a friend like that. Another long silence followed. Finally, I spoke. It's about the Comas, my little brother. But I couldn't continue. Does Kite know? Mistral asked after a while. No. Were you playing this game with your brother? No, I never played before that happened. I sense you're very driven, so I'm guessing you started playing to discover the cause, right? You're very intuitive. Let's just say I've known all kinds of people and listened to all kinds of problems. Mistral broke into a grin. I hope he wakes up soon, she continued. I'll help you too. What is this that I am listening to? I forgot what it was. Oh, that's right. It's the Persona soundtrack. Yeah, the original Persona soundtrack. I figured this would fit too. I am gonna turn it down just a wee bit though. If it'll... Hello? Oh, so I need to open this. Oh, that's fine. That works. Alright. Back to... Oh, it's ad break time. Ow. Good evening, VOD watchers. I hope you're doing well this evening. I've started to relax a bit since I sat down and started reading, so it's good. I'm also going to pause here and put on this music. Just to make it a little easier, so because the other music is just for reading. Ow. Other music's just for reading. Oh yeah, I'm absolutely going to end up finishing this whole ass book. Snap. Snap. Okay, sorry live watchers. I didn't realize the ad break had come. I really need to check that and check the time. Yeah, I'm at a minute 1 hour 5. Down. Wow. Anyway. That's Thor high heels. Come on now. There we go. Alright. It still sounds too loud. Right there should do it. Alright. I hope he wakes up soon, she continued. I'll help you too. But I trailed off. Hey, the phone's ringing. Hold on a minute. Mistral stopped moving. I stared at her immobile form. Suddenly, it jumped to life when she returned. My husband has to work another shift, so we can talk all night if you want. Oh, don't worry. We don't have to be serious, but if you want, we can talk about anything. After all, why not rent Mistral for the evening of chat? For an evening of oh my god. If she had not added of chat, good god, that would have been funny. I chuckled. You finally laughed. Mistral and I ended up talking for hours. I told her about my brother, how my family had changed the bullying in my tennis club, Risa, everything. But the only thing I couldn't say was why Fumikazu was in a coma. I couldn't bring myself to tell her it was my fault. Time passes. My cell started vibrating as I Oh yeah, my cell phone started vibrating as I walked to practice. I glanced down at it with a surprise. It was a text message from Asaoka. My cold has finally gotten better. I bet practice hasn't been the same without me, right? With the sweat smile face. I'll be back starting today, so I'll see you later. P.S. This time I'll make it to the finals. I smiled as I continued to the clubhouse. As usual, I was early, so I entered the deserted building and headed for the lockers. I started changing when I heard someone enter. Hayami, you there? Natori peeked around the locker as I finished getting into my uniform. Yes. Good, I wanted to talk to you. Is now a good time? Sure. She bowed. I'm sorry about the other day. She lifted her head and smiled. It felt as if time melted away. When I first joined the tennis club, Natori had helped me out and taught me a lot. We used to be friends. Eventually, I'll win back my spot as first string, she said semi-jokingly. And, the next page has a sketch. And it is of, Akira, but she's, like, in the middle of getting dressed, and, like, she's half naked for some reason. She's got, like, her shirt over her head, and you can see her sports bra. I don't know why they decided to draw that. It's really weird. I mean, you know, the art style's cute, and the moment is adorable, but, like, why did they draw that? Why did they draw a high school freshman in a bra? That's kind of weird. Little weird there, Illustrated by CyberConnect 2. Wow. A little weird there, CyberConnect 2. I don't know why you draw that. I don't know why you decided to draw that, but here we are. Anyway. Not from me, you won't. It felt good to be friends again. Suddenly, she burst into laughter. What's so funny? It just feels refreshing, she said. I knew exactly what she meant. We headed to the courts together. The sight of us surprised some of the others who were already there. A few minutes later, I saw Asaoka. She waved. Practice was short because the sun set earlier these days, but it was the best practice I'd had in a long time. Afterward, Risa came up to me while I was locking up the equipment room. Hey, what happened? She asked. What do you mean? Don't give me that. You were getting along with Natori. Things are back to normal, that's all, I said, smiling. Risa wasn't satisfied. Just like that? Yeah, just like that. She apologized. It was nice. Good, I'm glad you finally told me something. But it would be nice if I didn't always have to pry information out of you. You could, you know, just tell me sometimes. I know. I was carrying too much of a burden. I remembered Mistral's advice about letting friends help out. I realized I wasn't alone. I had lots of friends. I do rely on you, you know, I said jokingly. Oh really? Like when? Like when I need help with my homework. Asaoka's voice called us from the club room. Race you there, Risa challenged. Winner gets treated to a meat bun. Oh, that sounds delicious. You're more into food than boys, Hayami. Are we on? You bet, let's go. Risa took off running in a flash. Risa took off running, period. In a flash, I overtook her, but as we ran, I noticed my shoelaces were untied. Take your time, Hayami, Risa shouted as she passed me. We both arrived at the doorway where Asaoka waited. We greeted her, and Risa left to change. Another error. Once we alone, Asaoka bowed. I'm sorry to worry you, she said. Worry me about what? I'm fine. If anything, I should thank you. Thank me? For telling me about the Epitaph of Twilight. It really bailed me out. She looked at me questioningly. I decided to tell her about what happened in the world. She listened quietly. So there's some mysterious link between that game and the Epitaph of Twilight. Interesting. Asaoka paused. I might have to give the world a try, she continued. I felt nervous. I didn't want Asaoka jumping into the game when it was so dangerous. Of course, I won't have time to play anything until the exams are over. Right, I exclaimed. Failing because of a game would be silly. Asaoka grinned. I'll try researching a little on my own. I'll let you know if I find anything good, she offered. Thanks. Time passes. I came to Lambda Formless his footprints to check on someone. The odd thing was, I didn't even know the person I was looking for. I was about to enter a field to level up against enemies when someone called out to me. Please excuse me. I turned around to see a tall female heavy axeman and a heroic-looking blade master. Then, appearing from between the two, stepped a short wave master. Sorry for bothering you. Are you alone? The wave master's childlike voice reminded me of Mistral. My name is Ku. Excuse me. This is Kira and Nay. Did we surprise you? I'm sorry. No, you just reminded me of someone I know. I laughed because parties can only be made up of 3 people. They couldn't have been asking for my help. We have a favor to ask, said Nay. She was tall and slender with long gray hair. A favor? She thought to herself. Can you help? At least hear us out, said Kira, the blade master. He was clad in pale silver armor and a helmet. He had the same hairstyle as Kazu. I wondered if he had modeled his character on what he really looked like. I suddenly remembered Kazu happily talking about his own character. What kind of favor? I asked. Well, how do I put this? Nay poked Kira. Nobody's going to listen to you if you ask like that. Just tell her the story, added Ku. And the 2 women seemed to pick on him mercilessly. Hell yeah. Okay, there's this PC, and we think she's in trouble. Player character, by the way. Akira continued, we know she's in trouble. Nay jumped in. Right, we know she is, but if she's still alive, she won't be if you keep dragging this out, Ku interrupted. Oh, let me tell it. Ku explained that they were crossing a field to return to town when they witnessed a PC being chased by a monster. They had been too wounded to come to her aid, so they watched helplessly as she took refuge in the dungeon. If you don't have any particular plans, we thought maybe you could see if she's okay, Ku concluded. I agreed to look for her while I was adventuring, and we exchanged member addresses because they wanted to know the outcome. I warped in. It was a very high-level area, suitable for 39 and up. Perfect for me, but definitely too high for the group I just encountered. I stood in a meadow. Yellow magic portals were scattered randomly across the field, and as a reminder, the yellow magic portals are what summon the enemies. So you don't really get random encounters, you just sort of, well, kind of. You see the yellow portals, but what comes out is random. So you can avoid a portal or not, or you can take your chances, etc. I took off running with my large sword at the ready. Several portals opened as I ran past, but I quickly cut down the monsters that emerged. Finally, I arrived at the large dragon's open mouth, which served as the entrance to the dungeon. That's another thing I love about the dungeons in this game, is that some of them are just like the inside of giants. There's one that looks like a bald man with his fingers sticking out of the dirt and wiggling, and it's like, it's so fucking cool. Anyway, inside it resembled a dank cave. Hell yeah. As soon as I entered, I heard someone behind me. I turned and saw a figure moving in the darkness. I recognized Kira's description of the avatar. She's a short blade master with dark brown hair and twin tails, he told me. It was one of the few times Ku had let him talk. It's okay, I'm not gonna hurt you. The PC stepped out of the darkness. She was clad in pale blue armor. She held an immense sword that was disproportionately large compared to her body. Love that. I recognized her. This was the PC I had read about in Fumikazu's journal. What? Are you Haru? I asked. Huh? Have we met? No, but several PCs saw you running. They asked me to check on you. Haru grabbed my arm and asked, was it Kazu? Oh shit, she know him. She knew my brother. It made my heart ache. I shook my head. I'm sorry they bothered you. She bowed. I'm sure you have better things to do than check on some stranger. I don't mind, she replied. I wanted to ask her about Kazu, but I didn't know how to broach the subject. You just ask her! My god, for someone who's like the top tier of your tennis team, you have no confidence in yourself. Good lord. Shall we head back? I inquired. I can't, she said. There's something I have to get. It's in this dungeon. Damn it. Come on. There we go. Alright. Okay, I'll help you. Haru looked at me. She seemed suspicious of my intentions. I understood. I'll go for the experience while you go for the God statue. Our goals are different, but our destination's the same. Let's go. The smile returned to her face. Right, she cried. Yeah. Like literally crying. I felt like a knight protecting a princess as I crushed monster after monster on our downward journey. Finally, we reached the lowest level and arrived at the Gott statue. Gott spelled G-O-T-T. Room. Haru slowly approached the treasure chest. Once it was open, she didn't say anything. Finally, she muttered, "This isn't it." "What were you looking for?" I asked. She handed me the treasure, a simple infantry cap, as a gift. "You promise you won't make fun?" she asked. "I promise." I have a friend that I haven't seen in a long time. We used to play together all the time, but lately he hasn't logged in. I knew she was talking about my brother. Anyway, whenever he comes back, I wanted to surprise him with a gift. Oh, I know he was looking for a powerful wand, and I heard it was in this dungeon, but I guess whoever posted it on the BBS lied. She paused. I just wish I knew what happened to him. He doesn't even respond to my emails. It's not like him. Oh my god. Black Rose, fucking tell this bitch so she can stop worrying about him. Goddamn. I was surprised to learn that there were others besides me and my family waiting for Fumikazu to return. Haru suddenly felt embarrassed. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be complaining to a stranger like this, especially after I wasted your time when you helped me get down here. It wasn't a waste. I'm glad I got to hear your story. Really? Yeah, tell me more about... You fucking asshole, Black Rose. Just tell her. Kazu, he's so nice. He helped me out just like you did today. We've gone on tons of adventures. He's always been so friendly. Not just in the game either. Sometimes we talk about real life. Have you ever met anyone like that in the game? I thought of Mistral. Yes, I have. It's nice to meet good people, isn't it? Sure is. She fell silent. What? I asked. I was just thinking about your voice, Black Rose. What about it? It kind of sounds like Kazu. Really? Yeah, the way you talk is kind of similar, she added excitedly. Oh my god. Just fucking tell her, you bitch. I feel complimented to be compared to someone so Oh my god. Black Rose, you fucking asshole. Tell her. I actually can't remember if she tells her. Anyway, we should get back to town. Okay. She used a sprite ocarina, which instantly teleports you out of a dungeon. To immediately warp from the dungeon and return to the Chaos Gate. I had to do the same if I was going to keep up. She was waiting for me when I arrived. I really can't thank you enough for helping me today, she said. Don't sweat it, just don't get in over your head anymore. Will we meet again, she asked. Of course, Haru smiled and logged out. Why didn't you exchange member addresses? I was going to see Fumikazu tomorrow, and I couldn't wait to tell him about what happened today. Of course, I wouldn't mention that Haru was searching for his wand. I'd let her surprise him whenever he regained consciousness. Bitch, tell this girl, I swear to God. Then at least she'll know that he's relatively okay. Like, he's in a coma, but she's working on it. Come on now. God. Kat forwarded me an email for... Oh, wait. Time passes, by the way. Kite forwarded me an email from Linda, the woman who knew of Orca's search in the world. That's who Linda was. She wrote that Balmung seemed to be retracing Orca's footsteps. Kite added his own note, explaining that he planned to do the same. I joined him. I logged in and waited at the Chaos Gate for Kite to appear. It took a while, but when he finally showed, he didn't seem surprised to see me. Where to? I asked. This time, it's Lambda Dying Madness Haunted Land. I fucking love that. It's another protected area. Alright, let's get going. I stood beside Kite as he inserted virus cores into the cross that opened up. Once the cores were in place, the protection was broken. Lambda Dying Madness Haunted Land was a jungle Even the path to the dungeon was a labyrinth that eventually led to ruins. It was this area's dungeon. We carefully checked out every room until we arrived at the end. "Is this the last one?" I asked. Kite entered without answering me. I hurried after him. As soon as we entered the room, the display went dark. I thought the computer might be loading data, but it was taking too long. I felt uneasy. The dark display switched to a dazzling brightness. Once my eyes adjusted, my breath caught when I saw the scene before us. Suspended from a ceiling that seemed to stretch on forever was a single, empty birdcage. Scattered on the ground were various broken and busted bird cages, lying in ruin. This place had the same atmosphere as the room with the blank-eyed teddy bears. A voice echoed around us. "When the finger points to yonder moon, the fool will not look at the fingertip." "I think it's a fragment of the epitaph," Kite whispered. Suddenly, someone warped in next to me. It was Balmung. "You again? Why are you here?" He glared at me, then turned to Kite. "I don't have time to quarrel with you at present." Kite stood his ground. "I want you to tell me what's lurking through the world," he said, referring to something Linda had told us. Balmung had to know about it, especially since he'd been working with Orca. But he refused to answer. "It has nothing to do with you." "Yes, it does," Kite insisted. I realized that Balmung was acting just like I used to. I kept everything to myself because I wanted to be tough. He thinks he has to do all this by himself. But he's wrong, she thought to herself. Balmung of the Azure Sky, Orca of the Azure Sea. Shouldn't your goals be the same? Isn't there some connection between what's going on here, between what's wrong here and the girl Aura? Asked Kite. Balmung shook his head. I won't let you cause any more damage. Listen to me. Don't interfere." Before we could say another word, he warped out. "He's pig-headed too," I said in frustration. But I wondered how he'd gotten into a protected area. Maybe he followed us? She thought to herself. We headed back and logged out. Shortly after disbanding, I had an email from 01. I quickly read it and forwarded it to Kite. "Kite, here's the reply I got from 01. Okay, it is 01. Quote, "I posted everything I know about the Epitaph of Twilight. I do not know anything beyond that, but I got my information from a player character named Wiseman." Oh, I love Wiseman. "You might be able to ask him for more details. However, he's very stubborn, so instead of me playing the middleman, it might be best if you talk to him directly. He's often in Lambda Dazzling Sage's Arctic. I say we meet with Wiseman. We need to figure out our next step, right?" As soon as I sent the message, another one arrived. This one was from Leos. I didn't want to open it, but I knew I had to. Subject: Standby orders. "Thanks to your activities, our workload has doubled. We can't afford any more problems, so I'm ordering you both to stand down. Do not continue your investigation. Even if you encounter another irregular, take no action." I deleted the message. What the hell is his problem? Who cares about his workload? We're trying to save lives. Leos's message only reaffirmed my decision to no longer listen to his orders. I didn't care how much he complained, but the work we were causing. About the work we were causing. We needed to continue investigating. We needed to solve the riddle. And that's why I love this fucking series. It's a fucking mystery. It is a mystery that unfolds as you go, and it's so fucking cool. End of chapter. The next chapter is called He Showed Us the Way, and I am not gonna do that fucking Knuckles meme. I hate it. Excuse me. Alright. He showed us the way. We are almost done. I think we only got a few more chapters to go. Let's see. see, one... Okay, we have like 2 chapters left, and that's it. They're pretty thick chapters, but still, 2 chapters nonetheless. I'm only an hour and 20 minutes in. Fuck yeah! Alright, let's do this. I had another rendezvous with Kite in Carmina Gadelica. As usual, I arrived early. I'm also changing this. Nope. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay. Before logging on, Mistral and I had instant messaged each other. I updated her on my life, but we also talked about silly things like new songs from pop sensations and which celebrities we thought were cute. Oh, in other words, girl talk. I guess that's girl talk, but I mean, anyone can talk about pop music, and I feel like everyone has a crush on some celebrity somewhere, so it's not really... I'm overthinking this, obviously, but I've always hated the idea of quote-unquote girl talk, and that, like, quote-unquote boys weren't allowed, or some fucking whatever. I've always found that to be absolute bullshit. Like, do you think I'm emotionally... do you think I'm that emotionally stupid that I can't grasp the concept of what you're saying? Like, come the fuck on. Ugh, anyway. I was sure this was her way of keeping me distracted, so I wouldn't worry all the time. It was very sweet of her. At one point I asked how well she knew Kite. Mistral said she also exaggerated emails with him. What? Mistral said she also exaggerated emails with him. Oh, oh my god, I'm stupid. Exchanged emails with him. But they didn't talk the way she and I did, so she didn't know very much about his real life, or maybe she just told me that to protect his privacy. Finally, Kite arrived. Wait long? He asked. Nah, I got here early. He was late, but I wasn't going to say anything. Though I wondered what had kept him. Is he late because of homework, or is he held up by his job? She thought to herself. I still knew so little about him. It was considered rude to ask people about their real life while playing the game. I remember Kazu lecturing me about this in front of the PC. At the same time, we'd done so much together in the world that I felt as if I did ask Kite about his personal life, he would tell me. But I didn't. I was afraid if I asked him about his life, he might ask me about mine, and I still wasn't ready to open up to him. We warped to Lambda Dazzling Sage's Arctic. It wasn't protected. A bit of time passes. Powdery snow fell as far as the eye could see. The barren landscape was devoid of any characters. Maybe he's in the dungeon? Kite mused. Well, 01 only said he was in the area. He didn't say where in the area he might be. Yeah, I couldn't imagine him having much fun just standing out here, Kite joked. We headed for the dungeon. The entrance wasn't very far. We quickly explored every corner of its castle-like maze. Once we finished searching, we retraced our steps, but the place was empty. It was possible that if we were wandering around, we could always be in one area while he was in another, or he might not be here at all. I started to wish 01 had given us more information. Either way, I couldn't figure out why Wiseman would hang out in this desolate place anyway. Is he eccentric? She thought to herself. When we returned to the lowest level, I said, what if he's not here at all, and he's actually in the field? Then I give up, Kite laughed. We entered a remarkably large chamber and caught sight of 3 other PCs. There were two Blade Masters and a tall, white-haired Wave Master wearing a jet black coat, stretched to the floor. And he, Luca... Did my dumbass really forget to put Wise Man on here? Oh, I forgot to put Wise Man on here. Fuck. Oh well. In that case... Oh, excuse me. I keep going... There we go. I keep going past it. Natsuki! Come on. What? No, I clicked here. Wiseman. Look at the Cheeseman go. So funny. Come on. There he is. He looks a bit intimidating, but he's a cool dude. Still love that art style. Anyway. Yeah, sorry. Come on, YouTube. There you go. Where are we? Oh, yeah. Wave Master wearing a jet black coat that stretched to the floor. One of these guys could be Wiseman, she thought to herself. Kite and I slowly approached the trio. As we neared, the two Blade Masters thanked the Wave Master and warped out. The Wave Master heard us approaching and turned. His skin was dark, and he had a strange symbol etched on his forehead. Like so. Did you come to trade? He asked in a calm, deep voice. I placed the cursor over him to learn his name. It was Wiseman. We'd like to ask you about the Epitaph of Twilight, Kite spoke nervously. Epitaph of Twilight? Wiseman spoke slowly as if tasting each word in his mouth. Ew. Such knowledge comes at a steep price. Price? I echoed. What are your terms? Kite asked. Give me time. I'll let you know my offer via email. Alright, Kite nodded. If we have to wait, then that should lower the price. If we have to wait, then that should lower the price, I snapped. I figured if we were conducting business, then I should haggle. Isn't that what negotiating is about? Wiseman laughed. Very well, I will. I winked at Kite, and we left the dungeon. Hell yeah, Black Rose. I wonder what he'll ask for, I said, as we exited the castle. I haven't a clue, but it's our only lead. Kite's voice sounded weary as he answered. Looks like it. He said he was off for the day and he logged out. I wondered if he was feeling sick or something, but since I couldn't do anything about his problems in the real world, I decided I'd help Kite out in the world. I wondered why saying goodbye to him made me feel so forlorn. 'Cause she like him. Where are we? Oh. I wanted to chat with Mistral again, so I emailed her and talked about Fumikazu. In many ways, I felt like she was Black Rose's older sister. Mistral's response came surprisingly fast. She said not to hold back and that she'd help me figure out the Epitaph of Twilight. I thanked her and got ready for bed. Some time passes. I rummaged around the music storage room looking for a mixtape I'd recorded the previous year. It was for a dance class. I could hear the band practicing in the music room next door. The trombonist had trouble playing in tune. I nearly jumped when a voice behind me asked, "What are you doing?" Oh yeah, it's like the one boy that she actively has a crush on or something. I turned to see one of the band members standing in the doorway. He had pale skin, dyed caramel-colored hair. He dyed it that way? And thin eyebrows. I'm looking for a tape, I answered. If it's not in those shelves, it's probably in one of these boxes. He pointed next to the shelves beside me. Thanks, I muttered, returning to my task. I could still feel his eyes on me. I crouched and opened one of the boxes he'd pointed at. It wasn't long before I found the tape. Here it is. I held it up triumphantly. Good for you, he smiled, walking toward me. I didn't realize how big he was. How come I never noticed him before? Is he an upperclassman? She thought to herself. He brushed against me as he walked past. I was sort of trapped in the corner. He opened another box, removed a pair of drumsticks, and smiled. Excuse me, I'm in your way. He tried to leave, but found... I tried to leave, but found I couldn't. Oh, this is creepy. This is really creepy. Like, he's not saying anything. He's like, oh, I'm in your way, aren't I? And just keeps standing there. Just fucking standing there like a creep. Ugh, I hate it. I hate it very much. Where are we? You're Hayami, right? A freshman? Yes. I can see the tennis courts from right here. I've watched you practice. Oh, there were some red flags there, buddy. That's not a good approach. That's not a good approach. Oh, I've never talked to you before, but I have watched you silently. Ugh. That's not a good look, buddy. Try again. Abort, abort, abort. Oh, goddamn. I've watched you from across the way. Ugh. No likey. Yeah, I would be too, Akira. Goddamn, I was bewildered. Sorry, I'm normally not so direct. You're not direct at all, dude. You're being really creepy about it, but I've never run into you before. He peered at my face. I watched you struggle. It made me admire you. Oh, that's really creepy. My face went red. How long has he been watching me? It looks like you're getting along better with your teammates. Now, this is stalker behavior. This is stalker-ass behavior. He even knew I was being bullied? Is this guy is this guy a stalker? Don't get me wrong. I'm not a stalker or anything, says every stalker in the fucking world. He said, as if reading my mind. Suddenly, his face turned beet red. Oh, now he's embarrassed. Looking anywhere but at me, he asked, would you like to go out with me? Hey, you got those sticks or what? A voice called out from the music room. I'll be right there, he shouted back. He quickly grabbed a pen and looked for something to write on. Finding an old music score, he muttered, I guess this'll work, and then scribbled his number and handed me the paper. Take it, he urged. Oh, this was a terrible approach on his part. Just the worst. I stared blankly, unable to move. He gently took my hand and put the paper in it, smiling as he turned and left. That's really fucking creepy. I hated that. That was horrid. That was the worst thing I'd ever obviously it's not the worst, but like in this book, that's the worst thing I've ever read. That is the worst attempt at romancing someone I've ever fucking seen in this book. Jesus Christ. That was, oh god, that was just unsettling. Ugh. Oh man, okay, let's get back into it. Akira? The door on the other side of the room opened and Shoko entered. Hey, are you okay? She must notice that I'm blushing. Shoko saw the dust-covered tape in my hand and smiled. I'm glad you found it. Let's get out of here. I looked at the paper the upperclassman had handed me. On it were his name, cell phone number, and email address. What's that? Shoko asked. Nothing. We quickly left the room. Once we were in the hall, I told Shoko everything that happened. He's pretty sly. No, he's not. He's creepy. Shoko grinned and poked me in the arm. He's just messing with me, I muttered. I don't think so, she said, and looked at the paper he'd handed me. What's his name? I looked at the paper. His handwriting was terrible. Hagia. I hate Hagia. Hagia's fucking awful. I answered. Oh, I think I know him. He's a junior. Do you remember we played in the band at the freshman welcome party? Why the fuck is a junior trying to go after a freshman? That's really fucking weird. He did? Yuji admired his playing so much he wanted to take up guitar. Oh, I mumbled and looked out the window. Right now I didn't have time for this. I had too many other worries. Fumikazu, Kite, the real love interest, and the mysteries of the world. Yet despite those worries, I couldn't help feeling a little giddy about being asked out. She's probably never experienced it before, so she doesn't know any better. Are you going to call him? Asked Shoko asked. I don't know, I answered. I'll think about it. As I left school, I saw him waving goodbye from the music room. I was so embarrassed that I hurried down the sidewalk without waving back. Good. Don't encourage his behavior. When I came home, I found Kota waiting for me in the hall. He was half naked. Big sis, he shouted. Mom says we should take a bath. He squealed as I picked him up and carried him into the bathroom. While I scrubbed him down, he asked, "Did you have a good day today?" "Yeah, why?" "I don't know, you just seem happy." This is the most coherent 4-year-old I have ever seen in my fucking life. Are you kidding me with this? What 4-year-old talks like this? This sounds like a fucking 10-year-old. I changed the subject, but while he soaked in the tub and told... Wait, what? But while he soaked in the tub and told me about his adventures in making shapes out of clay, I found myself preoccupied as I washed up. I was thinking about Hagiya. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not a good thing. When I returned to my room, I took out the slip of paper with his number. I decided to call him. You fucking idiot. My heart started pounding. Why am I so nervous? Because he was creepy to you. He was being an absolute creep. Maybe I should email him instead. In some ways, it will be easier. No, I thought, I should just call. No, you shouldn't. I took a deep breath and punched in his number before it could ring. I hung up. Good. This is stupid, I muttered. Okay, let's do this. I hit redial. It started ringing before I could change my mind. I was committed. As it rang, I suddenly found myself hoping it would go to voicemail. Hello? Damn, she thought to herself. This is Hayami. My voice was shaking. Oh, good, you called. I'm glad you did. Though I'm not really good on the phone. Then why did you give her your fucking number, you idiot? Oh my god. Jesus Christ. And for some reason, there's a sketch on the next page of Hayami chest up in nothing but a towel, and she's like looking at the mirror, blushing. That's once again CyberConnect. This really was not a necessary, illustration that needed to be made. I'm just gonna pop over to this one real quick. When we sat in an awkward silence because of course they did. Finally, I blurted out, "Fine, I'll just do this over email." No, I want to talk. Anyway, I'm sorry about today. Sorry about rushing this. I just didn't know when I might see you again. His voice faltered at the end. Another silence followed. I could hear the clock on the wall ticking. Slowly, I started to calm down. I thought of myself as Black Rose. It helped a little. That's really funny. Well, my voice cracked. Yeah, he said, urging me on. I can't really do this right now. Even though he couldn't see me, I bowed my head. After a pause, he murmured, "Oh? I really am sorry. Don't apologize. I'm sorry. You did it again." Hagiya laughed sadly. "Yeah, sorry," I laughed nervously. "Is it because you're so busy?" Kinda. Okay, well, I'll wait. That seems creepy too. Hagiya, you don't need to wait for me. I'm sure there are others who would. I don't want to date any others. I want to date you. That's also creepy. I couldn't believe he spoke so bluntly about such a thing. My cheeks felt hot. I mean, I would feel very creeped out by that. Very creeped out. Oh, what is it about me he likes? I wondered. Maybe you should think about it, he said. No harm in just thinking about it, right? Okay, next time email me. Maybe it'll be easier than talking. Huh? I'm glad you called, even if you did turn me down, but I won't give up easily. Ow. Take no for an answer, you fucking dick. Hagiya insisted. Think about it and email me later. Goodbye. He hung up. I looked at my cell phone and sighed. I clicked it shut and peered down at the paper with his information. I knew the timing just wasn't right, and also his attitude's not right. His attitude's the fucking worst. I crumpled it up and tossed it in the trash. Fuck yeah, girl. Tossed that shit. Some time passes and I need to crush my can real quick. Alright, I'm back. And now I just finished my Red Bull, and I'm about to open a can of Liquid Death. This is the iced tea flavored one. Or iced tea flavored. The iced tea one. Hell yeah. Alright, sorry. I like that noise. It's Grim Leafer. Iced tea, agave, and vitamins. And I'm going to shake it up a little bit since it's just tea. And then I'm going to open it with a paper towel covering the lid. Or the tab or whatever the fuck. There we go. Awesome. Get that air out of there. Not bad. There we go. Even if your tea is canned, you always gotta shake it up and make sure everything gets mixed around. Oh yeah, much better than it was yesterday. Yesterday I didn't shake it up and it just tasted really weird. But now that I've shaken it up, it tastes much better. Alright. Time passes, so let's see where we're at after the quick time pass. Thank God she balled up that fucking paper. God damn. That was awful. Okay. Oh, subject. Terms of exchange. That's a message from Wiseman. Let's dispense with formalities and get right to the point. The Spark Sword is supposed to be somewhere in Lambda Blooming Promised Walkway. If you can find the Spark Sword, I'll tell you what you need to know. It sounded like a cheap price. I quickly wrote to Kite and then Mistral once I finished, I threw on the goggles, or FMD. I forget what FMD stands for, though. As everyone kept correcting me, and entered the world. Lo and behold, Kite was waiting for me beside the Chaos Gate in Carmina Gadelica. Black Rose, he called. Hey, I just wrote you. Carmina Gadelica, okay. So, here. And it is always nighttime in Carmina Gadelica, by the way. Hey, I just wrote you. I know, I was waiting for you, he said. I got a warm fuzzy feeling when he said that, even though I'd completely forgotten about it at that moment. Oh, she like a kite. She like a kite. That's so cute. At that moment, something reminded me of Hagia, but instead of dwelling on that, I said, sorry for making you wait. She's just fucking... She's deluding herself at this point. Like, come on, girl. You know you like him. You know you like Kite. Fuck Hagia. His name looks like Hag-Aya. You don't want that. Okay. It's okay. I just felt like waiting for you. He chuckled. You got Wiseman's oh my god, these two are so in love with each other. You got Wiseman's message? Yeah, I knew you'd probably log on as soon as you saw it, so... You ready to go? Kite asked. You bet. Can we call Mistral? Kite paused. Finally, he asked, why Mistral? I told her about Wiseman, and she already knows about the epitaph. Okay. We sent her an email and waited for her to show. It didn't take long. Hope I didn't keep you two waiting. Not at all. Happy to see you, I said. Where to? Mistral asked. Lambda Blooming Promised Walkway. Kinda sounds like a fairy tale, Mistral grinned. For some reason, I expected Lambda Blooming Promised Walkway to be a normal area. It wasn't. The protected area menu popped up. "Do you have enough virus cores?" I asked Kite. "Yeah." Kite placed the cores in the open gaps. I wondered if Wiseman knew this area was protected. If so, he sent us here thinking we couldn't get through. In which case, he never had any intention of giving us information on the epitaph of Twilight. When we arrived, Mistral cried out, "The poor meadow's ruined!" Originally, it was a beautiful prairie, stretching beneath a deep blue sky. Now, it was torn apart by black fissures and red character strings. "Let's find the dungeon," I said. By the time we reached it, we'd hit several magic portals and been attacked. Oh wait, this is a tough level," I cried. We were 2 or 3 character levels below the recommended number, but Mistral was always ready with recovery magic. She made sure to stay behind us to avoid being hit herself. I'm glad we called her, I thought with relief. The monsters were so difficult, by the time we arrived at the dungeon, all 3 of us had gone up a level. Hell yeah, I love when that happens. Ooh, a very beautiful sketch of them fighting a data bug, which is a regular monster that's been corrupted by the virus. "Hold on a sec," Mistral called. I need to regenerate SP." We took a break. SP slowly regenerated with time, which is like one of the best fucking RPG mechanics I've ever seen. She consumed a lot of magic just keeping us alive. I checked my own item list and found plenty of Mage's Soul, an SP recovery item. I offered it to her. "No, I have plenty of it, but I'm saving it for the boss fight. If we fully recovered I'll be fully recovered in another minute." "Okay." Mistral expected the worst if she thought there'd be a boss fight. I was thinking the same. I didn't know if it would be another data bug or something really tough, like another Skaith. But I realized her decision to preserve Mage Souls was the right one. "Thanks, I'm ready." Mistral waved her wand. We plunged forward and quickly descended to the lowest level of the old castle-like dungeon. "I wondered where the Gott statue is at," I said. "It has to be around here somewhere," Mistral chimed in and opened a nearby treasure chest. She found a recovery potion. We'd probably soon need it. We entered a large, empty chamber with only one other doorway. A purple mist hung in the air. The purple mist in-game is usually a signifier that there's a boss fight or some form of story-relevant event that is about to take place. Mistral cast strengthening magic on us, then I used Mage's Soul on Mistral. A Mage's Soul. We hit it into the mist and ran right into a data bug. A dragon with luminescent green hexes covering its body appeared. Data bug. "Look out!" Kite warned. We attacked. The dragon roared and unleashed a billow of flame at all 3 of us. My HP instantly dropped to a dangerously low level. Mistral was far enough away that she wasn't affected, but Kite was nearly dead. I opened my item list and used a recovery item on Kite. His HP jumped back to the safety zone. Mistral cast a recovery spell on me. "It's fire-based," Mistral called out from behind. "Recruits," Mistral chanted, unleashing a watery attack spell. Multiple blocks of icy spikes assaulted the dragon. Yeah, there are elemental weaknesses and strengths in .hack, which there's quite a few elements and whatnot, but like you kind of get the hang of it as the game goes on. And plus, the NPCs that you play with in your party will automatically, if I'm not mistaken, if they have the magic that works the best against them, they will use it. Assault of the dragon. The words "elemental hit" rose above the dragon's head. That meant it was vulnerable to the attack. Mistral had caused bonus damage. The beast roared and shook its head in pain. We laid into it with our attacks. Compared to Skaith or Innis, this databug was weak. Only its initial flaming attack was dangerous. If you could survive that, the rest was easy. Finally, Protect Break OK appeared beside the dragon. Kite fired off a data drain. But before that, more fucking bullshit. Okay. And then... Data drain, baby. It looks so fucking cool when the animation plays. It's always fun to see. The shining green hexes that coiled about the dragon scattered. The crimson dragon turned toward Kite, who was now defenseless, and charged. Oh crap! Black Rose thought to herself. I quickly opened my item list and used a sleep charm. The beast fell to the ground snoring. Yay, it's asleep! Mistral shouted out, and cast a recovery spell on Kite. The dragon would wake once we attacked it again, so all three of us prepared. Mistral beefed us up with strength spells and then readied her own magical attack, while Kite and I stood poised with our weapons ready. Finish it off at once, I shouted. All three of us simultaneously struck the dragon, killing it instantly. I wish it worked like that in the game. Where are we? Oh, okay. We beat it, Mistral shouted joyfully. Kite mused. What is it? I asked. I got the spark sword, he replied, surprised. So this thing had it? Yay! Mistral carried on happily. It seems strange that the data bug would be carrying the item we were looking for. Our mission proved far easier than we'd imagined. I guess that's it then, Kite said. Let's take it to that Wiseman guy. I know in the game they call him Wiseman, but I like calling him Wiseman. Mistral said. The three of us returned to Carmina Gadelica. As Kite prepared to transition us back to the field where Wiseman hung out, I noticed Balmung talking to a merchant NPC. It had to be Leos. Look, it's Balmung. Oh, Kite murmured. Kite murmured, disappointed. I think he knew that this would be easier if we worked with Balmung. Another fucking editor's mistake. I wondered why was Balmung. I wondered why Balmung was talking to a system administrator. Is he working for Leos too? When we returned to Wiseman's chamber, he seemed surprised to see us. Kite handed him the spark sword. That's definitely the spark sword, he verified, his voice betraying his admiration. You think? Now let's have that information you promised. I took a step forward. He looked at me and asked, Who are you people? What's that supposed to mean? You got what you wanted, now give us what we want. I'm surprised you were able to enter a protected area. Wiseman looked at each of us as if trying to figure out which one of us managed to break the seal. You mean you sent us to a protected area as a test? I screamed. Certainly. Now I'm wondering how you managed it. He looked between me and Kite. For whatever reason, Kite decided to tell him how and why he did it. Once Kite finished, Wiseman said, I can't believe something like that could happen to someone as powerful as Orca of the Azure Sea. What does he know, I thought. Oh, what does he know, I thought. The world isn't just a game. There's something at work with some other goal. Then I remembered that was similar to what Linda had said. Wiseman said, All right, if that's the case, I'll help you. I apologize for testing you. I'll send you what data I have on the Epitaph of Twilight via email. And I'd also like you to have this. Wiseman gave me the spark sword. Huh? I was shocked. I don't really need it, he explained. Besides, your story was far more interesting than any item. Ooh. He smiled faintly at me and warped out. That's a bit weird, but I get it. You did well there. Oh wait, you did well there, Mistral said, indicating the spark sword. We headed back to town and separated. By the time I logged out of the game, Wiseman's message was already waiting. I quickly opened it. End of chapter. One more chapter. And that's the end of the book. Mutation is the name of this chapter. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Ad time. that means it's regular music time. Good evening, VOD watchers. I hope you're doing alright this evening again. I'm glad I'm able to finish these books relatively quickly. Second time in a row where I've wound up finishing the book in 2 streams. I always underestimate myself and how much I can manage to read in 2 hours. Because usually when I read, it's the length of an album. I put on a record and then read until the record ends. It usually takes about 45 minutes to an hour. And the most I usually get I can read is like a single volume of manga in that time. But yeah, I never expected to be getting through these books so quickly. I do wonder what I'd like to read next. Maybe a manga of some kind, but if I do, it'll definitely be the scans of the manga. Maybe The World God Only Knows, because it's fan translated. And I love that fucking series to death. To death. I tell you, it's to death. It's a wonderful series. And once again, the artist that's playing right now is Thor High Heels, all one word. They're also a YouTuber who posts about video game stuff. He's very chill. And as is his music. Great stuff. Excuse me. You can't see it, but I'm bobbing my head. It's such a great track. Beautiful, beautiful. Where'd you find this? Up right now is Greaves. Greaves. He's a rapper, but I have his instrumental stuff in the playlist. Just to make it easier for people to hear me when I talk. 8 seconds until the ad's over. Bam. And we're back. Welcome back, live watchers. Hope that ad wasn't too bad. It helps me out just a little bit. Either way, we're pausing the chill jams and getting right back into the Persona jams. If it'll play. There we are. There we go. Also, this next chapter starts with let's see. Okay, so the chapter starts with a long email from Wise Man. So I'm gonna lean in here and add throw some stank on it. Unknown were the cursed wave. Nope, I already fucked it up. Unknown where the cursed wave was born. After the stars doth cross the heavens, the sky in the east doth darken, and air doth fill with mourning. From the chosen land beyond the forest, a sign of the wave comes. Rising the wake is Skaith, the shadow of death, to drown all that stands. Mirage of deceit, Innis betrays all with the flawed image, and doth aid the wave. And the power of Magus, a drop from the wave doth reach the heavens, and creates a new wave. With the wave, Fidchel, the power to tell the dark future. Hope darkens. Sadness and despair rule. Gore schemes when swallowed by the cursed wave. Matcha seduces with the sweet trap. Wave reaches the pinnacle, and escape none can. Tarvos still remains, with more cruelty to punish and destroy. And with the turbulent destruction after the wave, only a voice remains. And of the deep within the void arrives Corbenic. Perhaps then the wave is just a beginning as well. It sounds like the monsters you encountered were the Skaith and Innis mentioned in the epitaph. I recommend you get in contact with the legendary hacker Helba. Follow these instructions: east, north, south, west, north. The gate to paradise will open. Those are the magic words to reach Netslum. You mustn't forget them. I pray that the weapon I gave you will prove useful. May the Twilight Dragon's divine protection be with you both. That's the email. Love it. Beautiful. Alright. I reread the email from Wiseman over and over again. We now had the complete list of names. There were 6 more enemies we had to face, but why wasn't Kubia mentioned? And did Aura have anything to do with the epitaph of Twilight? Undoubtedly so, she thought to herself. I wondered what Kite thought of this message. I wrote him a quick email. Quote, I guess these are the enemies we have yet to fight. Magus, Fidchel, Gore, Matcha, Tarvos, and Corbenic. But what could Netslum be? And what are the magic words for? I returned to Delta, Hidden Forbidden Holy Ground. I'd grown strong in the past 2 months, so if anything attacked, I felt I could handle it. I wanted to see Aura's statue. I wanted to see the names. I found her statue in the deserted church, bound by chains. I peered at the pedestal, trying to see what came after Magus. Nothing else was discernible, only the first 3 names, Skaith, Innis, Magus. I leaned back, lost in thought. Why were they carved into the pedestal? For a moment, I thought I saw the statue move. But I knew it was just my imagination. I left the church and headed back to Mak Anu. Suddenly I realized the faint buzzing noise that had been... Hold on. She went back to Mak Anu, so... Oh, also she was in the church, which... in front of the statue, which looked like this. Voila. The chains and everything. And then she went back to Mak Anu, which looked like this. I'm still not happy with the fucking volume of this music, and I don't know why. Okay, skip this part. Okay. I hated that. Satomi Tadashi's drugstore song. No. Anyway, I returned to... Oh wait, I read that. For a moment... I left the church and headed back to Mak Anu. Suddenly I realized the faint buzzing noise that had been bugging me for the past few seconds wasn't part of the game. It was my cell phone ringing. I quickly threw off my goggles to answer it, but it was too late. Caller ID told me it was Asaoka. Why would she be calling me at this hour? I dialed her number, but it was busy. I decided to text her and asked her to call me back. I lay down in bed with the cell in my hand, wondering why she'd called. I dozed off, waiting for a reply. Oh, hold on. I gotta close that out too. I don't wanna get all backed up with extra images. There we go. Time passes. Do you want to be a ghost? Miho asked. They're asking for volunteers. I think it'll be fun. Come on, let's do it. She raised her hand. I grimaced. Our class was creating a haunted house for the culture festival. Every other fucking anime. Oh, it's one of my favorite tropes. I love it. I didn't really like the idea of being a spook. I never got into scary stuff like that. The supernatural made me uneasy. Yeah, that's the point, Akira. Instead, I was still thinking about Asaoka's email. Hey, did you know I'm in the same class as Hagiya? He told me you two had talked. Anyway, he's going to perform at the Culture Festival, and he wants to play a song that you like. That's really, really creepy. He asked me for your email address, but I told him I couldn't give it to him without asking you first. That's why I called last night. He was being persistent. Yeah, and it's really shitty. Because she already said no. Yeah, didn't I already turn him down? Now he's trying to go through Asaoka, she thought to herself. I wondered what she might have said to him about me. Boo! I looked at Miho. You space out too much, Akira, she muttered, excuse me. She's just worn out now that meets and exams are over. Risa poked me. Come on, don't you think it'll be fun to be ghosts? They say sometimes people act differently when they're behind a mask. Sometimes the person's real desires are revealed. If we're ghosts, we won't be able to see the other booths. I didn't want to do that. Too late, Miho said. I already volunteered us both. Shoko leaned over and whispered, hey, if you want to get out of it, you can sneak away and see the live show. Live show? What live show? The one Hagi is performing in. Is this a conspiracy? Did Asaoka tell her? She must have. Don't they understand that I've already turned him down? No thanks, I answered bluntly. Shoko looked at me and shrugged. I guess this is a no... Oh, I guess this is no time for love then. Love? I squeaked. My heart sank over the matchmaking plot, and seeing my name added to the list under ghosts didn't help any. Some time passes. There was a new post on the BBS relating to Aura. It stated that the strange character, probably a roving AI, was talking about Netslum. He was in Delta Scattering Fossils Milestone. So Kite and I met outside the Chaos Gate and are headed there. I'll keep this out. Excuse me. Yeah. There we go. Okay. The contamination had now managed to infiltrate an unprotected area. The snowfield had scorched red. No, the snowfield was scorched red. Areas that normal characters could reach were starting to break down. Why doesn't Leo shut it down? She thought to herself. We reached the lowest level of the dungeon and found a Wave Master. His avatar was filled with holes. I could see through it. He was damaged, just like the area. His name was Plaird. I wondered if he were a character from the Epitaph of Twilight. They ran into a similar player character looking avatar in the last book, or either that or earlier in this same book, and they had holes in their model. They look like squares cut out. Oh my god! Anyway, they looked like they had squares cut out of their 3D model, and when they tried to speak to them, they quoted a they didn't really quote it, but they were named after a character from the Epitaph, and they said, "I'm looking for the end. Do you have the end?" I wondered if he was a character from Epitaph of Twilight. "Do you know? I'm looking for something. Do you know where it is?" Plaird babbled. "What are you looking for?" Kite nervously asked. "I don't know. That's why I'm looking. I don't know." "What is I don't know?" "Come on, stop playing around," I said to Plaird. Plaird spoke rapidly. "Come on, come off. Rendezvous in Netslum. Rendezvous in Lambda. Pulsating worst core. Rendezvous with no schedule. I hope you can make our rendezvous. I'm sure you can make our rendezvous. What's rendezvous? What's looking? What's what? I don't know what I don't know." That's real fun. Like, in text it sounds kind of silly, but like whenever you see it in the game, it's kind of creepy. We don't know either," I muttered. I couldn't tell what was wrong with him, but at least he gave us the keywords for Netslum. Through the holes in his avatar, I could see someone warp in behind him. An instant later, Plaird was deleted. Kite and I were too stunned for words. Standing behind where Plaird once stood was Leos. He put his hands on his hips and said scornfully, "Just faulty data." Like a fucking dickwad. Here, I'll show y'all what Leos looks like again. He hides behind different NPC vendors that you see in root towns. So it's just he's usually disguised as the green one, but it depends on which server they're in. Where are we? Oh. "Leos, what did you do?" Kite shouted. "I debugged, that's my job." Leos glared at us. "I thought I told you to stay put until further instructions. If you don't want to be deleted like your friend here, then you'd better obey my commands." Leos warped out as quickly as he had arrived. I couldn't believe he actually threatened to delete our characters. Will he really do it? She thought to herself. Part of me believed he would. I tried not to get angry and instead thought about Plaird's words. He said that Netslum was located in Lambda Pulsating Worst Core. Kite and I agreed to go. We had to return to Carmina Gadelica first. When we arrived, we ran into Balmung. He and Kite stared at each other for a moment, and then Balmung said, "Use it." A moment passed before Kite mumbled, "Thanks." But Balmung had already warped out. I realized he'd handed Kite something. "Hey, what did you get?" I asked. "Oh, nothing. We should go," Kite said, avoiding my question. "By ourselves?" "Yeah." "Hey, why don't you invite me?" We turned to see Mistral running towards us. "Yeah, the baby." "Should we bring her?" I asked Kite in party chat. "Why not?" he replied. Mistral's status appeared at the bottom of the screen. She said, "Excellent. Let's have some fun today." We faced the Chaos Gate as Kite entered the coordinates. Naturally, it was another protected area. Kite hesitated. "You okay? Got enough virus cores?" I asked. "Yeah, I just got the one recently, so we can go." Which one was he talking about? Before I could ask, the screen went white and we warped. Oh, shit. What? Why would it still say Ocarina of Time? Yeah, no. What the fuck? Oh, I forgot to hit done when updating the fucking the stream information. I typed it all out and forgot to hit done. God damn it. Oh. Oh well. No wonder no one showed up. Oh, goodness. Hi, Cosme. I hope your shift went well. I'm almost done with the book. We have like one chapter to go. Don't apologize. You helped me fix it. You shouldn't apologize for helping to fix something. Either way. I got 3 days off next week. Fuck yeah, man. By the way, how's college going? Did you ever finish it? I was told last time I remember you said you had like 2 weeks left. I hope you managed to get by. Graduate next month. Fuck yeah! Hell yeah, man. Get that shit out of here. Put that fucking last month right now. What? I thought you said you were on. I thought you said you had only like 2 weeks left before it was all done. Huh. Unless I like misremembered. No, two. What the? That's weird. Now 1 month. I don't know why. I don't know why I keep forgetting that. That's weird. Either way, so goddamn close. Or you might be thinking 2 weeks before spring. That might be it. That might have been it. I might have been confusing 2 weeks left with like 2 weeks left until you graduate. I would have been like, but anyway, we continued the story. We're almost done with it. I still highly recommend this story, Cosme. Be it through a let's play of the game itself, or just listening to my VODs as I read through the story, because it's the same thing, just from Black Rose's perspective. There's a fucking mystery about this series. Like, the main characters are trying to solve a mystery about the game that they're in and whatnot, and it's so much more interesting than Sword Art Online's bullshit plot. Also, if the music that yeah, mystery, baby. Yeah, I highly recommend it. Or you could just buy the books yourselves. There's only 4 volumes, and the last time I checked, they were pretty cheap. Definitely cheaper than the games themselves. Again, if the books is cheaper than... Oh, absolutely, 100%. But anyway, if the music that I'm listening to sounds familiar to you, it's because it's the soundtrack for the original Persona. I got curious one day and looked it up, and I was like, ooh, I like it. But anyway, let's see. Oh, wow, I didn't think you... Wow, I didn't think you recognized it. That's cool. Okay, so they just warped into a protected area that's supposed to be the net slum, which is where hackers hang out. A prairie stretched before us. Yeah, it's Persona. A prairie stretched before our eyes. There were the worm-eaten graphics typical of a protected area. East, north, south, west, north. The gate to paradise will open. I mumbled the magic words written in the email from Wiseman, but nothing happened. I guess that didn't work. I mean, I mean that as I recognized immediately since it's... Oh, okay. Atlas has a specific way of making music. I don't know, man. This doesn't sound like any Atlas game I've ever heard or seen. It doesn't sound like P4 or P3 or P5. That's why I didn't expect you to recognize it. Anyway, Kite laughed. Don't laugh. Think of something. It's similar to the early titles. Gotcha. I realized we still hadn't told Mistral about the info on the epitaph from Wiseman. I explained to her the circumstances that led us to this area. Maybe it's some kind of route, like in the dungeon, Mistral mused. That's probably it. It's similar to their other titles. Oh, okay. We soon found the dungeon, this one in the shape of an old castle. The 3 of us entered. The first room was a perfect square. When we tried to leave, however, we ended up right back in the same room we started in. Ugh, I can't stand frustrating stuff like this. You deal with it, I said. I think this is where we use those directions, Kite said, frowning. What do you mean, I asked. Just go east, north, south, west, and north, Mistral said merrily. And then I caught on. You could go one of 4 ways from the small square room. It was possible to choose east, west, south, and north. Oh, right, so that's it. When we moved according to the magic words, a set of stairs leading down appeared. "We figured it out," I exclaimed. "Now let's find Net Slum." We descended and found ourselves in another pure white room. The only thing inside was a rundown Shinto shrine archway. In the background was a strange sound, like someone speaking quickly, but too quickly to comprehend. I tried to ignore it. "What do you think? A dead end?" Kite asked. "It feels strange. We've come this far, haven't we?" I replied. Suddenly the screen went pitch black and there was a horrid screech. We had warped. We found ourselves in what looked like a bombed-out town. More than a slum, this place was in ruins. Standing around were avatars with strange faces. Some of them had emoticons for faces. Another had a picture frame. A third was a fish. I wonder if I can actually find a picture of Net Slum on Firefox. Because Net Slum looks so fucking cool. Yeah, no, that's a band, Cosme. Dot hack. Oops. Net Slum. I'm typing with my left hand, which is why I'm typing slowly. I'm not used to typing with my left hand. I really should get used to it. Google images. You know what I meant, Google. So stupid. You know what I meant, Google images. Oh, goodness. Okay. So this is generally what Net Slum looks like. Let's see. Ooh, it's a nice and big one. Good. Open image in that new tab. Oh, cool! They made Net Slum in VR chat. That's rad as hell, man. Okay, so I'm gonna ignore that one. That's not actually the Net Slum. Oh my god, that's tiny. What the fuck? VR, wow, that's really cool. They made Net Slum in VR chat. I love that. That's adorable. In that case, let's just try Tartarga. What the fuck? Anyway. And we are skipping that one. Nope. Absolutely not. Come on. Really? You don't have any more images of Net Slum? Y'all really got... Well, that's better than nothing. That's a few better ones. Alright, cool. I wish the image was not that small. What the fuck, man? The Schlum! Yeah, that's basically Net Slum. There's the abandoned gate. Ignore all these extra details. That's from Dot Hack Sign. Which if I can figure out a way to watch it on stream, that'd be fucking great, because I love Dot Hack Sign. Anyway. Strange faces. Some of them had emoticons for faces, another had a picture frame, a third was a fish. So this is Net Slum? Kite murmured. Creepy. What are these guys? I asked. An avatar near the archway with a TV for a face spoke up. We call it Paradise, she said, her tone polite. Where's Helba? Kite asked. The TV-faced avatar walked away without answering. I guess we just keep looking, Kite said. Maybe talk to the people here. Oh wait, I read that. We proceeded along the gloomy, narrow alley. Where are we? I felt uneasy. I wondered if the information Wiseman had given us was fake. Why would Helba be in a place like this? Helba's a hacker, isn't she? Kite answered. Yeah, she helped us fight Kubia. Along the way, we tried asking several characters about Helba, but none of their answers made any sense. I don't know. I really don't know. Oh. These are some of the answers. Your game screen looks... Does it? Oh, it's not a game. It's an image, Gumi. I'm not playing a game. I'm reading a book. The image is just there to show what the area that the characters are currently in. And the book I'm reading is the light novel adaptation of the original Dot Hack series, which is about a giant MMO that puts people into comas thanks to a virus, and the main characters are solving the mystery of the game in order to help people who have been put into a coma by the virus. And it is it's way better than Sword Art Online. I can tell you that. Yeah, you told me before. Okay, cool. Sorry. And the characters have just entered an area. A secret area for hackers known as Net Slum. The backgrounds throw people off for real. I know a lot of Dot Hack because of Project X Zone. The backgrounds throw people. Do the backgrounds really throw people off? Why would it? It's meant to show like where the characters are. Plus, I don't really know what else to put here. Eh. Sometimes, I know the first stream I was a bit confused. I mean, I could just introduce it as like, hey, these are images to help you to help show where the characters are at. In general, at least. I don't have an image for every single dungeon they go to, because there's a lot of them. But in general, I show what the characters look like and stuff like that. But yeah, as of right now, the characters are in a hidden place for hackers known as Net Slum. And all of the characters there have weird heads. Seems more like a podcast thing to do, but to each their own. I don't know. I mean, there are streamers who read. Like, there's someone in Captain Morgan's server who does streams where they read. I just didn't know what to do for visuals, so I'm like, fuck it. I'll just use the stuff from the games in the show. Either way. Along the way, we tried asking several characters about Helba, which is the hacker that they're trying to find, but none of their answers made any sense. Quote, never watched reading streams before, just different. That's fair, and, like, they're more so for people to, like, glance at the screen if they happen to be curious about what's happening, but it's mostly just to listen to as well, so it provides a choice, an option, if you will, for people who just want to look at the screen or just have it on in the background. Either way. Oh yeah, quote, I don't know. I really don't know. Are you really awake right now? Our dream is very real, you see. I don't need light. I need water. Give me water. One rambled on for a long time. The process of thinking a thing through archives... The process of thinking a thing through achieves a high degree of perfection through the repetition of soliloquy before seeking salvation from others. You should find it for yourself. Therefore, I will not answer your question about Helba. This is getting us nowhere, I said. I wonder if anyone here can hold a real conversation. We trudged our way to the center of the ruins. A little old man popped up before us, appearing seemingly out of nowhere. Are you looking for Helba? He asked. Yes, Kite answered. I am Tartarga. He nodded. It so happens I heard from her recently. You want to know about the epitaph, right? It's a saga that tells how the age of the spirits came to an end, but the texts are scattered, and when they are found, they are extremely difficult to comprehend. Yes, it's very tricky business. Say, can you tell me why the people around here all look so strange? I asked. This place was once where all of the unsuccessful non-player characters drifted. It's sort of a junkyard turned sanctuary for failures. Players eventually stumbled into here and found these failed characters amusing. They've since added their own variations to copy attributes of failed characters. Why they look so strange? They from Alabama. Rude. Now, the boundary between player and non-player characters is quite indistinct. Some of them simply don't know which category they fall into anymore. Only their character data remains intact as they wander the network. It's the same fate as Harold. Harold? That was the name attached to the item we found in the weird room. Coworker was going off on stuff like that. I'm so tired. That's fair, dude. That's all I can think of. Look, man, if you need to rest, that's fine. I know you still got college work to do, all right? Do your best to rest if you can. Let my reading lull you to sleep. That's the name attached to the item we found in the weird room. A strange voice suddenly echoed around us. I must speak with Morgana. I go to where she is. The living flesh poses a hindrance, but I must go for our aura. Emma, please give me a little more courage. I sensed something above me, and when I looked, I saw Helba floating through the air. She slowly descended from the sky and then hovered over us. They're the words of the world's creator, Harold Horwick. The world's creator. By the way, the world is the name of the game that they're in. I also remind watchers of that as well, because sometimes it's been a while since they bring it up. Also, I'm gonna show y'all Helba. Absolute queen. We love Helba. Helba's the fucking best. Bless Helba and her weird, not tied boob top thing. So what brings you here? Helba asked. Kai told her the series of events that led us here in our pursuit of the Epitaph of Twilight. Both of you have succeeded in reaching it as well, I see. You've done well, she said, then raising her head. Oh, look, we have an unexpected guest. As a representative of Netslum, I welcome you to paradise. Turning, I saw a figure standing on a tower of ruins, his arms folded defiantly. Balmung, Kite said, surprised. Oh, yeah. Good old cranky-ass Balmung. Where is he? There he is. The edgy man. I also think he's voiced by Yuri Lowenthal. I could be wrong, though. It's been a while since I've actually played the games. Where are you? I see you sided with Leos. You cracked... Oh. I see you sided with Leos. You cracked easily for someone who was so sure of himself. Helba chuckled. Don't judge me. I'm not like you. Balmung pointed his sword at Helba. She continued talking, unperturbed. Shadowing your friend is quite shameful. You've disgraced the name of the descendant of Fianna. Spider-Man! Spider-Man! For real. Oh. I realized that Balmung must have given Kite the virus core he needed to break the protection. But because Balmung couldn't get into protected areas himself, he followed us to this place. I felt angry. It was hard to believe Fumikazu once respected him. That's Black Rose's brother, by the way. Kite glared at Balmung. You mean you used us? It was necessary to restore order. Order? There's an order that the world desires, and then there's the order that you desire. Which form should it take, Balmung? The order that I desire, of course. came a the order that I desire, of course, came a voice out of thin air. Slowly, a figure took shape. He looked down at us, his arms folded. It was fucking Leos. Leos is a system administrator that takes the form of the shopkeeper NPCs. But he usually prefers the green one. And he looks like this. Where are you? It was Leos, our featured performer. Now all the actors have assembled. Helba smiled. Leos ignored her and scowled at us. You pose a grave threat to this world. I'll delete you all. Leos held out his arm as he had when he deleted Plaird. Suddenly, the earth trembled and the screen warped. Leos looked at Helba, bewildered. What did you do? I haven't done anything. This is her doing. It would appear that she doesn't care for us very much, replied Helba. She laughed scornfully. Her? Oh, no, that's Kite. Her? Kite murmured. Does she mean Aura? Black Rose whispers to herself. Before I could ask, Helba turned to us. Yes, her. In other words, the world itself. The world is alive, baby! Then the screen abruptly inverted and a loud shriek erupted again from the speakers. When the screen reverted back to normal, a powerful gust of wind swept over us. I could see Balmung and Leos warp out before the wind could overtake them. Wait, are they running away? Helba floated away into the air. Wait, I called out, but my voice was drowned out by the wind. What's happening? Mistral screamed from behind me and Kite. Did we get left behind? Yellow hexes appeared on the ground, and just as suddenly as the wind started, it stopped because we had just been warped to a new location. Purple rock clusters floated in the air, and underneath inky black clouds, we saw another irregular creature. A leaf? Ah! This is the other big boss. There are lots of big bosses in this game, but one of them is... Come on. Open up. There we go. Magus. Where are you? Oh, a leaf? I murmured. Uh-oh, it's not from the strategy guide. It must be another one of those things. Group up, Mistral. I love Mistral. She's a wave master, aka wizard. As in the snake. No, we're not playing Metal Gear Solid Cosme. I love Mistral though. She's a peppy lady. She's very cute. Kite and I ran to her so she could cast strengthening magic on us. The earth quaked. Here it comes, Kite readied his blade, The monster slowly floated down from the sky. On either side of us, its dark green matchstick-like body were giant leaves resembling the shape of canoe oars. I targeted the monster. Magus. I knew it. Once we beat this thing, there are only 5 more, she thought to herself. I charged into the fray. Black Rose, Kite called. I brought my sword up as a shield. The leafy tendrils I'd been fighting suddenly exploded. Everyone took heavy damage. It nearly killed us. Mistral used the recovery spell that affected all allies around her. Where did it go? Over there, Mistral pointed. Magus had lifted into the air as its leafy segments slowly regenerating. At this rate, there would be no end to it. All we can do is aim for the body, I muttered, then gritted my teeth. Kite said, I'll go after the body. Oh wait, Kite said, I'll go after the body. Black Rose, will you take out the leaves, destroy them before they have a chance to grow back and explode? We're almost done. Roger, I replied. I'll handle recovery. Oh, I'll handle recovery from the back, Mistral shouted. Here it comes! Magus floated back to the ground. It dispersed its leaves, but I made sure to kill each one before they could detonate. I can do it! Kite held out the arm with the bracelet and lined Magus up in the sight. But one of Magus's leaves had evaded me and slipped near Kite. It exploded. Defenseless Kite's HP nearly dropped to 0. Kite! I screamed. I'm alright. Kite smiled at me and then activated the data drain. The bracelet lit up and an arrow of light shot through Magus. Kite quickly drank a recovery potion, and as a reminder, the data drain looked like this. Oh, come on, what the fuck? I accidentally opened it twice. Okay. It looks real fucking cool. Where are you? Oh, Kite quickly drank a recovery potion. Magus had turned to stone. Actually, it resembled 9 stones of various size, all fused together. I started hacking at it. Mistral attacked with spells from the rear. Giru Cruz, she cried. Icicles formed out of the air and pelted Magus. Whoa, a fish. What are you talking about, Cosme? There ain't no fish there. It actually does look like a jellyfish. Yeah, kinda. I kinda see it. But it's kind of like a collection of beams that just shoots that way. It's pretty neat. The creature let out a death cry and crumbled. Yeah, it makes more sense. Yeah. I got the last hit, Mistral said proudly. And on the next page, there is a very beautiful sketch of the aftermath of their boss fight with Magus. Okay. No sooner had she said it than we were warped back to Netslum. Our feeling of relief was short-lived. The ground rumbled. Why is there an earthquake when we defeated it? I thought. The vibration became even more intense. Suddenly, pieces of debris were sucked into the sky. Gravity itself seemed to be failing. It felt like the end of the world. It's falling apart, I shouted. Let's get out of here, said Kite as he warped the party back to town. Carmina Gadelica wasn't much better. I was speechless as I stared at the once beautiful town. And we're going to go back to Carmina Gadelica. But that's not Carmina Gadelica. I just have to exit out of that. I also have to exit out of Helba and Magus. So, kaboink. And come on. Gaboink. And then, oh well, I might as well, no, I'll leave it like it is. And then Carmina Gadelica. Carmina Gadelica wasn't much better. I was speechless as I stared at the once beautiful town. The streets were empty of avatars. The town was covered with scorched stains and crawling yellow character strings. Even the streets of the root town were now contaminated. What happened? Mistral asked, dumbstruck. I don't know, I quickly replied. I think we're done for today, Kite said tonelessly, in shock. Without another word, we disbanded and logged out. Time passes. Even after I removed the goggles, I couldn't shake the image of Carmina Gadelica when I heard Mom call from downstairs. She sounded insistent. Akira, come here! That's Black Rose's real name, by the way. Akira. I ran down and found her standing in front of the TV. It's a news flash from Minato Mirai, she cried. Your father. Dad had gone to a conference in Minato Mirai. I stared at the television. Images of rubble and fire covered the screen. I caught the trembling voice of the reporter. The Minato Mirai district of Yokohama. Few details are known, but right now Yokohama Sakuragi Kanai, as well as part of the Keihin, are under strict traffic regulation, and all commuter rail and subway lines have ceased operating. I couldn't tell what exactly was happening, but I knew that somewhere amid all the chaos and confusion was my father. To be continued. And that's the end of this volume. We fucking finished it, baby. Volume 2 down. 2 more to go. Fuck yeah. And at almost 3 hours, but still, we did it. Woo! Oh, man. That's very nice. That was very nice of y'all to show up, though. Didn't expect it. And if y'all want to watch the other parts, I have put the previous parts into a playlist, and am making the playlist as I go. Let's go. We got there. I gotta listen back on this one later. Hell yeah. I have all of the ones in chronological order in a playlist on me YouTube, baby. Chatting, and then we're just gonna straight up close Firefox. Why is the music still playing? There we go. Jesus. Okay. That was nice. Let's see who I would like to raid. Oh, actually, for now, I will stop the VOD. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, VOD watchers. I will see you next time. Goodbye.